Take a breath. That oxygen you just inhaled, about half of it didn't come from a tree. It didn't come from a forest. It didn't come from anywhere on land. It came from the ocean. More specifically, it came from trillions of microscopic organisms called phytoplankton, tiny, mostly invisible life forms floating near the surface of every ocean on Earth. They photosynthesize just like plants do. They absorb CO2, they release oxygen, and they produce roughly 50% of all the oxygen in Earth's atmosphere. Let that sink in. Every second breath you take was made by something you've never seen, living in a place you've never been. Now, here's where it gets stranger. Phytoplankton aren't plants. They're not animals. They're not bacteria in the traditional sense. They're a wildly diverse group. Some are more closely related to algae, some to protists, some to cyanobacteria. What they share is sunlight, water, and the ability to photosynthesize. And they've been doing this for billions of years. In fact, the reason Earth has oxygen in its atmosphere at all is largely because of ancient cyanobacteria, the ancestors of modern phytoplankton, pumping oxygen into the air for over 2 billion years. What we now call the Great Oxidation Event, roughly 2.4 billion years ago, was essentially a planetary-scale exhale from these microorganisms. It changed the chemistry of the atmosphere forever. It made complex life possible, including us. So when you breathe, you're breathing the legacy of organisms that have been alive in one form or another longer than animals have existed. But here's the part that should actually make you nervous. Phytoplankton populations are declining. Studies tracking ocean phytoplankton over the past century show that global populations have dropped by roughly 40% since 1950. The main driver is ocean warming. As surface waters heat up, they become more stratified. Warm water sits on top, cold water stays below. That stratification cuts off the upwelling of nutrients from the deep ocean that phytoplankton depend on to survive. Less nutrients, less phytoplankton, less oxygen. Not immediately, not catastrophically tomorrow, but the trend is real, it's measurable, and it's been consistent for decades. And the consequences go beyond oxygen. Phytoplankton sit at the base of the entire marine food chain. Krill eat them. Fish eat krill. Whales eat krill. Remove the foundation and the whole structure above it becomes unstable. They also play a major role in the carbon cycle. When phytoplankton die, they sink, carrying absorbed carbon down to the deep ocean where it can be stored for centuries. It's one of the largest natural carbon capture systems on the planet. A weaker phytoplankton population means less carbon pulled from the atmosphere. So the next time someone tells you to plant a tree to help the planet, and trees are genuinely important, remember that the most productive oxygen-producing ecosystem on Earth isn't a rainforest. It's the open ocean, and most of it is invisible. Take another breath. Half of that one came from the sea.